What up, guys? It's your boy Harry Wilmington here, and today we're going to be answering a question from a guy who has an old flame or friend of his that wants to hook up, but she recently got separated from her husband, but they're not yet fully divorced, and he's feeling kind of odd about it. So let's go ahead and go through his question, and I can give him an answer. So he says, an old friend wants to hook up. I'm down, but she told me she's legally separated and getting divorced, which will be finalized in 3 months. Is it wrong since she's technically married? He says, I live in North Carolina. In order to get a divorce, you need to be separated 1 full year. She was an old high school crush and we reconnected. We haven't met up or went on a date, just friends who chatted. She told me she wants to hook up and I'd be down, but I found out she's separated, technically not fully divorced. The divorce is finalized in October and her ex-husband is living with his new girlfriend already. But am I wrong for feeling a little bit weird because she's still married on paper, even though she's considered separated and they both moved on? The idea of hooking up with a married woman feels wrong, but maybe because I was raised in super traditional values before I made my own decisions, but still. So there can be a lot of different thoughts on this, and it really does depend on how you were raised, and then consciously and subconsciously, how you're going to feel about it in the process of, okay? So for example, most people, there's a reason like a lot of states and laws say you have to be, like the person has to be separated from their previous significant other for 6 months to a year, and that's because people relapse all the time. Like people will be like, I'm gonna divorce you, and then like 5 months, 6 months in, they start reminiscing about how good it once was, and then they suddenly go back to the other person, and then all that legal mojo they were going through was for naught. And so that's why a lot of states, I mean, there's probably other reasons I don't know of, but that is my guesstimation of why it is that many states make couples wait X amount of time period, usually 6 months to a year, before it's finalized, okay? Now, with that said, just because people are waiting for the paperwork to go through doesn't mean that in practice, they're not already separated. So in this case, like I said, the wife, the ex-wife, or now the girl he's trying to get with is already in her own place. Her ex is in his own place with his new girlfriend. And so the actions of all that are showing that they're separated, and that, obviously her having her own place, it gives the indication that she's moved on, okay? But with all that said, none of that's gonna take away from how you're gonna actually feel about dating somebody that is still legally married on paper. Because you could have the logical thought of, but they've already filed the paperwork, and she's already out of the house, and she really likes me and is ready to move on from this guy, and he's already moved on. So the logic of all this stuff is saying, well, I mean, it's just paper, so we're just waiting for 3 months of paperwork. It shouldn't matter because she's already separated out, so what's the big harm if I just hook up with this person? But what you may not be aware of is, again, it could be based on how you were raised, it could be based on the morals you've had up to this point in your life, is that logically knowing a thing and then experiencing a thing are 2 different things. And so while logically you might think you'll be perfectly fine with it, the reality is you might start dating that girl or hooking up with her or whatever you do with her, and then you could be having some subconscious reaction. So for example, you might do a thing where like maybe you're not able to sleep a lot, or you might go through a situation where like you're just internally bothered by the fact that you did this action that you thought you'd be okay with, and then once you did it, you start thinking back to like, but these rules, and like she's still technically married, and the law and the Bible and wherever your belief system is, those things could be in your head messing with you, and you might not be aware that would be a thing that would even happen, okay? So, and it's very hard because like, let's say you hook up with her, okay? You could think, okay, you could hook up and be like, okay, I've done the thing, and then I'm realizing I feel bad now, so I don't want to do it anymore. But that feeling is gonna now consistently be with you of the fact that you've hooked up with somebody that is still technically married. So you have to ask yourself the question, knowing that she's still technically married on paper, and knowing that if you sleep with her, you are in fact legally still sleeping with a woman who is not fully divorced yet, is that something you think you're ready to handle? Because again, once you do that action, then that might be the only thing you think about when you're with her every time you're hooking up, is like, I'm hooking up with a married woman, hooking up with a married woman. And here's the thing, if you decide to do that and then you feel bad about it later, you can't hold that against her. Because as much as you may want to, you knew the situation. She came to you and presented an option saying basically, hey, I'm still married. I got 3 months to go, but I want to hook up now. Let's do it. All that's on the table. So if you decide to take that and then you get mad at yourself later, that's all fine. You cannot take it out on her because it's not fair to her. If she wants to do, and if she's morally fine with doing that, then that's how she is. That's totally fine. And that's not a judgment on that other person, but it is saying that how she takes it and how you take it could be two different things. She's been without sex for probably 9 months, and I imagine probably more before the divorce or separation happened. So she could be jumping in the bit for like, look, I know you, you're a cool guy, and I really find you attractive, and I need to hook up, and you seem like you're primed for it. And that's all well and good. If she's talking about possibly making this a relationship, again, that could be a thing too. But if you're feeling bad about it, or you think that you might possibly feel bad about it, I would err on the side of turning it down. If you don't think it'll be a big deal, then go ahead and try it. But again, based on this guy's question, it sounds like he's already thinking about potentially how he could feel about doing the act. And guy, you have 3 months. You've known this girl since high school. You've known her for a very, very long time. I think you could wait 3 months because, again, I just don't want you to have any kind of subconscious or fully conscious backlash to yourself about if you decide to go this way. Because if you wait 3 months and then you hook up, no harm, no foul. If you do it now, it could be no harm, no foul, or it could be you seriously start thinking about why you did the thing that you did and how awful it was that you slept with this married woman and you can't take it back. All right? So you have to do what you feel is going to be best for your conscience, but it's sounding like you should probably just wait 3 months. That's my opinion. But hey, for those of you that are watching this video, let me know what your thoughts are. If you were the guy in the situation where the woman just got separated and the divorce is almost finalized but not yet, and she came to you and said, hey, do you want to hook up? Would you take that bet or would you make her wait? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, or you can write to me at harrywilmington@gmail.com, all right? But thank you, guys, for the question. And by the way, guys, if you want to watch more of these shows, you can go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Harry Wilmington. If you want to show your support, you can do it monetarily by going in the comment section and clicking on one of the links that'll let you thank me in a monetary fashion. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. This is also a podcast that shows up on Apple, Spotify, all these other places. So be sure to leave a 5-star review at those places because it helps the podcast get found. And yeah, if you have any questions you want me to answer on one of these shows, write to me at harrywilmington@gmail.com. Or the easy way to do it is to leave a comment down below in the video section. That's it. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.